Thanks for having me here today. It's a lovely environment to be in. It's great to see how many different industries are represented and the fact that the students are actually putting the stalls together. It's great. Lots to talk about technology and the impacts it's going to have on you. Before I sort of go down that path, I just wanted to explain. So I look for work placements as part of your vet courses. So if you are going to do a vet course in time to come, or maybe you're doing a vet now, you will need to get out there and apply those skills in the workplace. So myself and Hazel, who's here today, helps the schools to find work placements aligned to your vet courses. So as a result, I and my colleague Hazel, we speak to employers, hundreds of employers every year, and we place hundreds of students with employers every year. So we do have a pretty good grasp across lots of different industries, what employers are looking for, and I guess how technology is going to influence the jobs of the future. There's a quote that's been thrown around a lot that the jobs that you guys are going to do when you leave school are not yet invented. Has anyone heard that phrase before? Yeah, a couple of you, yeah. It might be a bit disconcerting. I think, especially if you're at school and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm striving towards a career, but what am I striving for? What is my career going to be if these jobs don't exist yet? Technology is this sort of big, concept, and what does technology mean? I think, as you were saying, we are naturally evolving, and it might be through forced situations like with the COVID and the remote learning last year, or it might be just as technology advances, things are going to change. I guess my advice to you is just to embrace it all and be open to it. And while some of these jobs don't exist yet, they're going to be a natural evolution. So I don't think it's going to be a case where you guys are going to finish school, go out into the workforce and go, I haven't been prepared for this, okay? I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. I think, though, what you should be doing over the next, remaining years of your school term is be open and receptive to all the experiences that you're going to have. If it is through a vet course, learn the skills. Skills development is really, really important. Even if you're doing a particular vet course that you may not necessarily end up doing as your lifelong job, you're developing skills that you will be able to adapt to any number of different workplace scenarios, okay? And certainly in the future, a lot of employers are not necessarily looking at the qualification that you have got, but the skills that you might have learned in that. So when I talk about skills, it's those, those employability skills. So it's time management, it's working in a team. Those sorts of skills are going to be really important, certainly as industry is evolving and so on. I was reading something really interesting the other day. There's a project that's come out, a whole lot of futurists have looked at 100 future jobs and what they might be. And look, some may actually come to fruition, some may not. But one that I found was really interesting, and I was looking around the room. We've got virtual reality over here, and we've got aged care over here, and there's gaming and digital art. What sort of job do you think would actually involve all those different elements or professions? Sorry? Gaming, yeah, that's a part of it, but I mean, how would that impact on aged care? Okay, I'll tell you one thing. So as you know, we've got an ageing population. There's going to be a lot of oldies out there when you guys are actually in the workplace. And with that, there is going to be a lot of old people that may experience dementia. And what one of these future jobs may be is that there are going to be virtual reality rooms where people, digital art designers or interior decorators, are going to create rooms reflective of the old person's earlier life and give them comfort and have those virtual experiences to actually make them calm and not experience worry or whatever, because it's a familiar environment to them. So really random sort of stuff, but this is where collaboration is really going to become a big part of how people work in the future. So So be open, be receptive, and get used to the idea of maybe collaborating, because that's probably the way work's going to be down the track. Now, talking about the right now, how many of you are actually out doing work placements as part of your courses? Any of you? No, not yet. You might do. Yeah, some at the back. Yeah. When you are out there either looking for part-time work or you're looking for a work placement, a lot of what employers do will be a bit of background work on who you are and what kind of person you are. And how do you think they're going to do that? Apart from looking at your resume. Social media, absolutely, yes. So, from a technology perspective, make sure before you're getting out there that you're cleaning up your social media account, okay? And I'm talking about going way back. If there are photos on there that you don't want your mum and dad to see, then make sure they're off, okay? Because that's what the employer's going to look at. They're going to paint a picture of who you are before they even offer you the job. Now, the other thing too is with technology now, you don't even get a chance sometimes to apply for jobs face-to-face, like drop your resume into a workplace. It's all done online. So my advice to you is making sure that if you are putting in your resume unsolicited through some sort of selection process online, make sure it's absolutely spot on perfect, no spelling mistakes. The information that is there is really important because unfortunately that's the kind of selection criteria that some businesses are actually going through now. You don't even get a look in. They're judging on who you are through how many spelling mistakes you've got in your resume. So those little things are really important. The other thing too is with selection processes, especially if you're in a very competitive marketplace where there might be 300-400 people applying for one particular job, there might be various online sort of selection tools that they might get you to do. So I would urge you in this time to maybe even explore some of those tools as far as looking at developing some of that and getting some confidence. How many of you were on Zoom meetings last year or team? Yeah, you were all doing it? Yeah. Okay, it was a little bit nerve-wracking initially, but with practice you got more comfortable. A lot of interviews are still conducted via Zoom, so make sure that you've got your game face on, that you've got a good, neutral background, you're actually looking presentable in a Zoom interview as if you were when you were going into the workplace. All I can say is I think it's a very exciting time, and technology is not something to be fearful of. I think it demonstrates how even industries like the horticulture industry are really evolving. In some jobs, you may not even consider exist in various industries. So you might be really keen on technology and doing an IT vet course, but there's no reason why you couldn't consider doing that particular job in something like horticulture. So keep your mind open to those different industries. I think that's about it for me.